First of all, I want to thank both of you for being here. This is really a treat for me.
Oh,
Yay.
well, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Mother and daughter, Paula and J'Nique, my goodness. You look so good today.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
You look really nice too.
Yeah.
Can everyone see what I'm
Try to look. It's best to always be professional.
Don't you think so?
Absolutely.
What I was going to ask you is because this is the second time they have both of you on, but I have both of you together. Both of you in the same profession.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What made you decide you wanted to be involved in music, first of all? In doing that, what are some of the challenges you've gone through being people of color here in Japan versus what you think if you're anywhere else? First of all, what made you, inspired you to want to be a musician?
You should go first.
I didn't pick it. No, I didn't because of my father. I grew up all around the music. I mean, it was in the house, and I mean, he was the different disc jockeys playing his music, and him being friends with people in the industry, and just music playing all the time in the house. And you know, it was just a part of my life. My mother put me in the choir at 5 and singing. I couldn't think of anything else. Nothing. It was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I tried to select some other things, but
Such as?
I was going to school for computer programming.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Because if you know how she is with technology, it's comical. Like, honestly.
It is not my thing. And,
No, it's not.
And this man named Mr. Shinmori, I was working 5th Air Force at Yokota. He said, "You're a people person. Your personality doesn't fit with this. You're a people person." You know, they knew I was singing, and they were coming to shows and stuff like that. They said, "Why not do music?" I said, "Because I was told I couldn't make any money doing that by some peers." They were like, "That's not where the money's at. You need to go to school and get a master's degree, and that's where the money is," and all that. So. But it's in my blood.
It's in your blood.
You know, I mean, I grew up listening, singing when I could start talking, you know, so.
Nikki?
That's really funny that she says all that, because even though, same thing, you know, I grew up around music, you know, hearing both of them rehearsing in the house and everything like that. And they both encouraged me, like, if you want to do music, you know, do it. Like, you know, major in it in college, you know, whatever you have to do. And I still was thinking the same thing that she was thinking, like, no, I have to be practical. Like, I can't make money doing music. It's like, or I just thought that maybe like I wasn't good enough, you know, to actually go all the way.
Right.
So I also pursued other things.
Because you actually told your story when you were on the last time, how you got a little jealous because your mother was giving music lessons to someone else.
Yeah.
And you said, "Mom, you know, I can sing too." And your mother said, "Well, let me sing." And you sang, what was the song that she sang?
Reflections by
Reflections.
Christina Aguilera.
And she said, "That's pretty good." And then she got you a job with Sony.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you go through being here in Japan and being of color? I'm sure it would be different than if you were in the U.S. What are some of the challenges you've had, and how did you overcome them?
Very different. I would say here they request foreigners.
Yeah. It's actually more of an advantage.
An advantage. I'm getting a lot of opportunities here. Well, we get a lot of opportunities here that we might not be able to get in the States because of the, you know, it's competitive in the States. And then too, it's who you know. But over here, they say we want foreigners. No, this job has to be all foreigners.
Yep.
And I'm like, whoa. So I'm happy.
What do you think? Why do you think they decide they want foreigners instead of having Japanese?
Well, one of the guys that hired us to do Motown, he said, look, I'm not going to be picky about your band members if you select, you know, another nationality for some of the band members, but absolutely not for up front. I want it to look more authentic. They have to be all, he said, he just came out and said, I need all black.
Okay.
That's what he told me.
You know, and I wonder, I'm like, is it that they think that we're more, I don't know. Like, like I actually don't really know what it is,
Okay.
to be honest. I can only guess.
What are some of the unique challenges, like I said, you faced being here as African Americans?
Mine is speaking the language.
I think that, yeah, that's for me too. But a few other things too.
What
I'd
else
say.
that you can talk about?
I mean, I think that being African American, it comes with its challenges no matter where you are in the world. And we're always going to be viewed kind of, a certain way, right? So, you get that here too. You get the microaggressions, you get the generalizations. It's definitely not as bad as in the US. Like, we're not dying in Japan, you know what I mean? But there's still, there's still things that they get under your skin as a Black person.
Can you name maybe one or two types?
I think that, there's definitely a certain connotation that people have about you when you're Black. It's like the interesting thing for me, and maybe you feel the same way, is that like when you're on stage, it's like, oh, you're on stage, you're this celebrity, everybody loves you. And then when you're off stage, when you're on the train, no one wants to sit next to you. Or, I actually, on the Shinkansen one time, I had a woman who was pushing the cart, like, one of the food, carriers or whatever. She didn't want to touch me. She didn't want to like hand me the menu to look at. She didn't want to put the change in my hand. She didn't want to directly hand the food to me. Like, yeah, I experience stuff like that pretty often.
Me too.
Really?
I just experienced it the other night. When I finished doing a job, we were at the KO Plaza Hotel. And then when I was trying to get in a taxi, he didn't want to let me in. And I kind of bowed down and I looked and I was like, I was telling him where I wanted to go. And he didn't want me to get in. But he finally let me get in the taxi. And then when I was getting out, I was trying to say thank you and give him the money. He had me put it down. He sped off before I could even get to the sidewalk. He shut his door and he wouldn't. I said, "Oh, it's some more in there." And I was trying to have a little dialogue with him. He wouldn't say anything to me. I was like, "Woo, okay." I said, "Well, thank God he did give me a ride home because it was cold out there. It was very cold." So.
That you had that experience. Mine's been different. So.
But I have a lot of good experiences.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the good outweigh the bad.
Yes, for me.
Right.
For me.
Okay, versus the U.S. That's a good way. Let's go in that direction. What would you say that you appreciate here more than you would? I mean, would you really appreciate being of color here that you feel that you may not get in other places?
Well, it's easier to get the connections as far as to get the jobs. In the States, it's hard to get in the music industry or in the entertainment business. It's like who you know. Even if you have the talent, it's not about that because, like I said, there's so many people that can sing and can dance, play an instrument, everything. But it's who you know. Being in the right place at the right time, and you could meet somebody that can say, okay, let me see what you got. And if they like you, you're in. If not,
It's interesting. What about the pay? Is the pay equal to what you get in the U.S.?
I wouldn't know, but she would know more
So
than
tell
I
me,
do.
is it more or less?
It depends on who you're backing, how big the artist is. But over here, the type of money that you make in Japan, no. So, like even the night jobs pay more here than they do in the States, unless you get with corporate.
Yeah.
So I do have some friends who are back in the States now who work for the corporate people and they get good paying jobs. But they said, if you're not working for corporate doing their parties and stuff, pay is very low.
Like basically you have to be like working to entertain the rich people, basically.
Yeah, and then they have their regular jobs they got it. So when they get off, they go to that job. But if you're in there like that, then no, the music can be full time. But a lot of people I meet say, no, I have a regular 9-to-5 job, and I do the music on the weekends. They do it on like a Friday night, Saturday night.
Yeah.
How often do you incorporate? How do the Japanese feel about Black music?
Oh, they love it.
They love it.
They eat it up.
And they have so much knowledge.
They do. One thing I noticed about Japanese people is that when they love something, they study it. they study it so like they go so far to like learn it, even like traveling to the place where it originates or whatever, just so that they can soak it up and really, really like embody it almost.
They know their artists too. They know
yeah.
who they like. They
Oh,
know who they are, their music. And when you're singing, they can sing along and clap. You can pull them into the show. And
Yeah. Don't know lyrics and everything.
Have you ever had a Japanese person get up and they started singing and you thought, "Oh, you can really sing"?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Oh,
I mean, there's
definitely.
plenty of good like Japanese singers. Absolutely.
Okay.
We get to work with them as well.
Absolutely.
That's right.
I love backing the Japanese artists that can
Same.
really sing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's just they're amazing.
Yeah.
They went to the States, they sung in choirs, and then they came back over here and they started doing their thing. And it's like,
Yep.
whoa, this is great.
Mhm.
What genre of music, black music, do they like the most, or do you find that they have the most preference for?
I
Or
would
is it just
say
all of it?
like soul.
Yeah,
probably.
R
They
and
really
B
love soul.
and gospel.
Yeah.
I get a
Yeah.
lot of jobs because I am a gospel singer. I grew up in a church singing, and that's where my my gospel roots brought me, to do this, because they would say, "Oh, we need a group of girls that can have a gospel feel
Mhm.
on this," and then it's like, "Oh, I don't even have to think about that." So that just comes natural.
Is there any type of music that you feel that is lacking in Japan from all the genres, not just black? Is there anything that you found that's hard for you to find? Like, for
No.
example,
Oh no, Japan is full of music
do you
everywhere.
find country and western often?
Oh no, probably not.
Um,
But actually, one of the artists that I sing backing vocals for currently, he kind of has like a folkish, kind of countryish vibe. His name is Hirai Dai.
Hirai Dai.
But that's pretty rare, isn't it?
It's pretty rare, definitely. And I think that's probably why he's so famous,
He's
is
very
because
famous
he's
and
giving
successful.
something that like other people aren't giving.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he has a little twang to his music.
Yeah, he does.
And he has a really nice voice.
He's an amazing singer.
Yes.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
Japanese.
He's
Yes.
Japanese, yeah.
I went to she invited me to the show, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
very impressed.
And he plays too. He
Plays
guitar.
guitar.
Mhm.
What, acoustic guitar?
Yeah, acoustic, electric,
Electric,
ukulele, everything.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're singing backup.
Yes.
Okay.
And Nikki and David, and they
David King.
y'all sounded amazing. I
you.
really enjoyed it.
Who's David?
David King. He's a singer here in Japan.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you know David.
I do.
David was definitely instrumental in the Michael Jackson VIP party.
Right.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
David-
was,
I must have met him once.
yeah. You
Yeah.
met him because him and Mo were very close, and he was working directly. Him and Melody Sexton and David King. They were the ones who gave me that job
Mm.
to sing for the Michael Jackson VIP
That's right.
party. So
What
yeah.
are some of the highlights? I mean, some of the people that really that you think, wow, I've had you. Paula, you've sung with so many people and you've met so many different people. Nikki, you're starting to do the same thing.
Mhm.
She is.
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness, to kick it right off she jumped off the plane running.
Yeah, yeah.
Gee.
She was ready. She was
I
ready
was.
for it.
Rock and
was.
roll.
And I'm so proud of her. She's been backing some people that I didn't even get to back. When you was told me you were getting ready to sing with Sam Moore, I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
from Sam and Dave. Hold
that
on,
right?
I'm coming. I'm like, man.
But she
Yeah.
said that. She said that when she came over here, you said, "Sure, come on over here." But soon she got here, you got her going right away.
She sure did.
I told her after
She
you
said,
graduate,
"Those
she
was
said,
wearing
yep.
tennis shoes."
She had to graduate. I said, you got to graduate.
That was
So
the
you
deal.
have something to fall back on.
Right.
So, and she said, oh, I want to finish college. I'm going to do that. And she did it. And as soon as she finished, she came and she hit the ground running.
Tell me, so Nikki, you have an album coming out?
I have an album already out. It came out in
Already?
2021.
Well, let's talk about that
Okay.
album. Which album is that?
It's called This Is Only the Beginning.
Okay.
And I wrote every song myself.
How many songs are on
There's 8 songs.
it? 8 songs.
Yeah,
on it.
I wrote every song. Executive produced the whole thing. But I worked with a lot of different producers because I don't like produce or play instruments myself. But
Right.
but yeah, it's all me for the most part though.
Is that
Yeah.
So what kind of genre are you singing? Is it slow songs or they dance
I would
songs,
say
or-
it's like I call it alternative R&B because there's a lot of kind of I guess inspirations that I have like from different genres that I kind of put together.
Mhm.
Like I have a song that's I would kind of say it's country inspired. Maybe if you hear it, you might not think so, but when I was writing it, I was kind of inspired a little bit by country.
Okay.
I have a rock song on there. I have a song that I call like my Disney kind of song. That's the title track. It's called This Is Only the Beginning. Yeah, so there's just a lot of, I think there's something on there for everybody.
Right.
I would
Don't
say.
is there anything in the works right now that you're working on?
Yeah, I'm just working on I'm kind of just trying to experiment and just make like one song per month. Just kind of just make a complete song
So
and just kind of see what happens.
Where are you in that process?
Oh, well, it's February, so I've made one song so far.
So you just started.
I just started this year. Yeah.
She stays so busy though because
Yeah.
she's getting ready to do something with Netflix.
I can't talk about that yet. I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think I can talk about
She
it.
can't
But
talk
but
about
You
it.
can't
there's
even say you can't say Netflix at all.
I actually don't really know. I don't know what I can do, but I have a lot of things in the works basically. So I'm working on my own projects, and then I'm going to go on tour again with Hirai Dai this year.
You start in April, right?
We start rehearsing in May, I believe. And
Okay.
because he has something that he does every kind of like spring/summer. It's called the Beach Trip. So he does this like kind of big festival. It's just all him. And, he performs and it's huge crowds, like thousands of people.
So Paula, but you stay quite busy too because you're giving lessons and what are you doing?
Yeah, I started back giving lessons because I have a lot of different students who some of them have shows and a few of them are artists, just all kinds of things. So they need me to coach them, and then I'm still doing my events. So
So you put together events? for
well,
people?
what happens is the companies that I work with closely will ask me, they will give me the theme. Like we just did a show on, was it Thursday? We just did a show on Thursday and the theme was like the Greatest Showman.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go to Nagoya and we did the Greatest Showman and wow, it was amazing.
It was,
The people
yeah,
really treated us
really.
very well. And we had to do 3 of the songs from The Greatest Showman. The night before that, we had to do another event, and we had to do The Greatest Showman. So it's kind of like back to back doing, I don't know, maybe The Greatest Showman must be
Popular.
catching on right now.
Yeah.
And it came out in what, 18, 17?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
But anyway, those songs are difficult songs, so I was definitely
Yeah.
proud. I was in charge of the rehearsals, organizing it, making sure everybody had their parts right, all of that. So I love producing the shows and doing the group work. I love
So
that.
She's
that's what
really
you're
good at
focusing
it.
more on now. Versus you're focusing more doing the backside.
Yes,
than being in
yes,
front
yes.
now?
I passed the torch
You
to
passed it.
Nikki.
But
Yeah,
you're still in it.
I'm still in it because I couldn't see myself just sitting back doing nothing. I love being behind the scenes. So as long as I'm doing something dealing with music, I'm going to be happy. I don't need the spotlight. I'll get in the spotlight. I mean, I had to get the spotlight when we were singing. We did some songs.
What was this?
The other night we did.
The event that she was talking about. in Nagoya.
Yeah, and I did lead. She did lead. We all did our thing and had the spotlight, and they treated us so well. They want to take pictures with us,
Yeah.
and it felt amazing.
Yeah.
And
I think we get a lot of opportunities to feel that here. And that's the beauty of being here as a foreigner. It's just like you get the celebrity treatment a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
When you're in the States, do you feel an automatic difference? You sing.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the States, what's your feeling when you're in the States?
No, it's too many singers. I mean, they great singers. I mean, wow, they're just everywhere. So no, I just sit back and absorb.
Yeah. I've never tried singing in the States, but that's something that I really want to do. So I'm curious to see what it is like. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that it's not going to be the same, at least not right off the back anyway. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Depends on who you connect with. Like, I mean,
Who you get
if
to
you
meet.
got the opportunity to sing back up with Stevie Wonder, ooh,
That would be amazing.
Ooh.
Oh, that would make my life.
That's a totally different level right
Have you
there.
done
Yeah.
No, just on one of the songs he did for a commercial called Keyring to Feel the Fire. That was back in the 80s through, what's his name? Is it Mr. Children? I would have to look at the
I didn't
profile.
know that.
That's
But
a
I'm
good thing.
coffee, yeah.
amazing.
So I was doing the singing chorus on that. With
That's
some other
amazing.
people. Yeah, I got that. I have that on it's on my profile.
She's so humble.
Your mother, I know. See, your mother will not take.
It's annoying.
Yeah, but Stevie wasn't there.
Okay, but it's still you
Still
was on the
there.
same song with
Still
Stevie
there.
Wonder. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, to feel the fire. To feel the fire. To feel the fire. It was a long time ago, but yeah, I was happy about that.
Yeah. We're happy that we just heard about that just now.
My mama sang with Stevie Wonder. Like,
I mean, it wasn't like I got to sing with him, but I did get to meet him because his keyboard, one of his keyboard players, was my keyboard player when we did the opening for the Ariake
That's pretty amazing.
Mall. And so I had 11 tickets. I was able to invite my friends, and I got to see him at the Budokan, go to the sound check. Everything. It was amazing. And then he came to the base too, so I got to see him 2 times. And then when he came back, I got a chance to meet him again. So around 3 times, you know.
That's nice. Do you find that being in Japan that you meet more famous people than you would if you were
Absolutely.
outside of Japan?
Absolutely.
Especially people of color.
Mhm.
But even people that aren't of color, for example, you get to meet other singers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Easier here than there. I mean, you
So
go
easily.
backstage and everything else.
I got to meet Lee Oscar from War. I know that's kind of like a long
Okay.
time ago, but you know, that was amazing to be able to meet Lee Oscar. I love War.
He's like, the war.
No, that's Edwin Starr.
Oh, okay. I don't
The
know what you're
group
talking about.
War. They put out Cisco Kid.
Oh, okay.
Cisco Kid was a friend of mine, and they put out Why Can't We Be Why Can't We Be Friends? Is that War?
Yours is no, it's a friend of mine. Is that the one?
No, that one. The one, Why Can't We
Oh, okay. That's
Be
what I was
Friends?
thinking. I wasn't
Why
sure.
Can't We Be Friends?
That one?
Okay.
I think that's War.
Okay, so that's originally by them. So
Yeah.
the group that I'm
Yeah.
thinking of that did it, that's a cover. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Happens.
I love War. I remember going to see them when I was, a kid. So.
Okay, that's cool.
Is there any city that you like more than another city in Japan? For example, Nagoya, Osaka.
Osaka,
I love Osaka.
They are really hyped
That's
and
one of my
ready for
favorite
you.
cities.
They really show love, a lot of energy. Osaka.
Mhm.
So Osaka's a place for you?
Oh, they know how to party,
Mhm.
and they know how to give you the energy to make you feel amazing. You're
Yeah.
there, it's like, oh,
That's true.
wow.
One thing I've noticed is that, like, Osaka aside, because Osaka is one of the ginkiest cities, I would say.
Mhm.
But I've noticed that, like, when you go kind of to the countryside, they're really ganky because they're like,
Yes.
nobody comes here. Like, yay, somebody's
Yeah,
here, you know?
yeah.
So, yeah, I love that.
Mhm. That is true.
That's good. Okay, being women here, do you ever feel threatened or have any concerns about that? And I saw Nikki just have a reaction to that.
I say it's 2 things. So on one end, I love the fact that I can just like walk alone by myself at night, and for the most part, nobody's gonna mess with me. But at the same time, I have dealt with like some harassment, like sexual harassment before, and nothing happened. Like there were no repercussions for the person who committed.
A Japanese person?
Yep.
While you were doing the show or something?
Well, that too, actually, yes, but
You mean about groping? Was it
just
Japanese
groping, yeah. I've had it happen to me on several occasions, and nothing was done about it.
But nothing, was it, okay, and nothing, when you reported it, nothing took place?
Exactly.
I hit them. I just
Yeah,
I'm
so
right
so
there.
that too, like I've actually been in that situation
Dame.
where I hit someone, but I found out that even if it's considered, self-defense, you can still get in trouble for that. There is no like self-defense law in Japan, so like they don't see it that way. So if you hit somebody because they, touched you inappropriately, you can go to jail.
Well, I didn't do it in a bad way. I knew how to handle.
I did.
I did it professionally. I said, Dame. No, and then he was like, oh,
I punched a man in the face.
No, I didn't have to go that
Did
far.
you go to jail?
No, I didn't go to. I just ran. I ran away.
Okay.
So they didn't catch me. Oh, please! I hope that doesn't
I'll
incriminate
take
me.
all this.
No.
I'll take that out.
You don't have to take it out. I'm just like, is it? I don't know if they can.
They can't do anything to you.
I didn't think so, right? Okay. But yeah, I had to. Like, it was just he literally like I was walking through Shibuya and he just like grabbed my breast. So I like punched him and I punched him so hard I hurt my hand and then I just started running.
You were by yourself?
I was by myself. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I never had that kind of encounter, but definitely while I was performing.
I've had quite a few. I've even been followed home before.
And then what did you do in that case?
It's really weird, and this is another kind of like reason why I like Japan, I guess, because like I was walking home, and then when I got somewhat close, I kind of felt like, okay, what's going on? So I turn around, and the guy is just standing there kind of looking embarrassed, like, and I'm like, can I help you? And he's like, you need sex. And I was like, no, damn it. And he said, okay. And then he just walked away.
That could have been bad.
It could have been bad, right? But it didn't. You know what I mean? Like, he literally was just like, oh, okay. And just walked away. And I feel like in the States, it would have been completely, he wouldn't have asked, first of all. You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of a bit of an advantage of being here, is that, like, people are polite about it. I don't know. But yeah.
That's interesting.
Isn't it? It's very interesting.
Tell me something that I wouldn't even think to ask. That's happened that you deal with here, good or bad?
Just getting harassed
Yeah.
by men when I'm performing, or
Yeah.
because, like you said, you already know this is a male dominant place. I mean, even the lady that accompanied us, that was our manager Thursday, she was in charge, but the guy kept going to one of the other singers that was a male who was fluent in Japanese, because he's like, I prefer to talk to the man.
That is a thing, for sure.
Oh, being overlooked.
Being overlooked because you're a woman, for sure.
Regardless of what your ability is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's Japanese.
So you don't feel offended because you don't think it's because of your color or anything. You think it's because you're female.
I do.
I mean,
Well,
still,
somewhat too. Sometimes they look at it, because there are people who, when I'm on the train, this little boy kept looking at me, and he was kind of eyeing me, and then he look at the guy in the man set, and I looked at him, and I was like, wow, is he teaching him?
wow.
He did that, and the little boy kept looking at me, and I would smile at him, and he was like, and then he looked at the man. The man was like, yeah, you don't want to, you know.
I've been in a situation like that too, where it was a woman actually. Well, the woman wasn't teaching the child, but like the child was on the escalator in front of me, and she was kind of like peeking back at me, just kind of like she was, as if she was scared. And I kind of was like, okay, this child keeps staring at me, so I waved, because that's usually what I do.
That's
like,
what I do too.
When I get uncomfortable and people keep staring, I just kind of try to break the ice, like, hey, you know, I'm friendly.
Yeah.
And the little girl like buried her face in her mom's side and just got really scared. And I was like, wow, that happens a lot. Just like people being scared of you because
He must have a bad reputation.
we worldwide, come on,
Yeah.
you know that.
Well, I've enjoyed this time. This has been a real pleasure. I want to thank both of you for taking the time to do this. This is the first time I've done a podcast where I did not appear. So,
Why is that?
Yeah, why?
Because you two are so beautiful. I don't want to damage.
Oh,
That's really sweet.
So
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I really don't want to. So I'm going to have fun doing this. Thank you again. And I'll make sure that you get a copy of this once it comes out. But thank you so
Okay.
much.
Well, also, I just like to say, if there's any companies, record companies, or whoever's out there that need a vocal coach, or they need somebody to produce a show, gospel singers, pop, R&B, jazz, country, hey, get in touch with me, Paula J.
Same, but you know, backing vocalists, songwriters, even acting, studio recording. I'm trying to do it all. I'm trying to be an entertainer. So
I've done a couple of movies too.
Yeah.